Yo. It's your boy Ctez, cast of Real and Uncomfortable. And what are you guys doing on January 15th? Because I know what I'm going to be doing.
Listen, I'm finna pop out.
Talk to him. What's going on 15th? What's going on?
We got a polymath holiday party.
Okay.
Who's DJing?
DJ Ryan Vandal. We got DJ whatever. We also got DJ Sus One. Okay, so it's going down. Now, I don't pop out for nothing.
Yo.
I'm always in the studio.
Rare occasions.
So this is, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be in the building. We're gonna have a good time.
Listen, we got the open bar. Come dressed to impress.
Of course.
Music's gonna be lit. Food's finna be lit. And listen, you never know who you finna see out there. We well connected.
Our raffle is sponsored by PC Riches and Son.
But listen, that TV is mine, all right?
Don't tell them what they gonna win yet. It's a couple little surprises, you feel me? Like,
but just know, when y'all see me in the parking lot with a 55 inch,
just help her to her car. Just help her to the car.
But also, shout outs to the sponsors. We got Metro Bud. We got Legally Highest. We got Heineken.
Yes, sir.
This is the place to be. January 15th.
And the tickets are in the bio,
Yes.
so don't search no more.
Yes.
It's right
Make
there.
sure you click that link and turn up on a Monday.
If you're in Westchester, if you're in the tri-state area, make sure you tap in. Polymath Holiday Party.
Bring your friends, bring your mama, bring everybody.
Don't bring your mama. It's
Bring
not the place for her.
Bring her. We turning up. Let's do it.
We turned up.
January 15th. Let's
go.
get it. We out.
It's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable. It's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of Real and Uncomfortable. It's your boy Ctez, and I'm here with my usual suspects.
Hey, Ray-Bans.
Eman Music. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And as you know, we just wrapped up another year. But on the end of that year, there were a couple topics that, really just kind of caught our eye, maybe caught our ire. Ray-Bans over here got a couple things to say about a couple things.
Do I?
So he's over there. He's smiling, but he got some strong opinions, too.
Chilling,
With
man.
his slicky on.
Right.
4,000 a month. Nah.
Right?
4,000 a month.
They was eating
right,
you in them comments.
I'm still getting notifications, bro.
As you should.
I'm still getting notifications.
But again, that speaks to a lot of things. One of them is like the media bubble, the social media bubble that everybody's in. Please, if y'all don't understand social media, please know that every app has a algorithm associated with your account. Shit that you like, shit that you dislike. They'll show you stuff to get a reaction. Now, whether that stuff is relevant to you and your location, it's up to you to decide. 4,000 a month may not be your reality because you live in Kansas or Arkansas or something. You can probably guess where we're at. He's got the doobie on right now, so he's got Tim's on under the table.
Come on, man.
He's from New York, not me.
Right. So it's a different reality for us. Doesn't mean that, it's still a struggle. Keep that in mind. While you're paying whatever you're paying for your rent, do you have as much money in your savings as you think you should? Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Ctez, 1/3 of Real and Uncomfortable. We understand the overwhelming feeling of trying to find insurance, the overwhelming feeling of trying to protect your assets, building your businesses, and ensuring that you're covered in times of danger, times of loss. And because of that, we've gotten in touch with one of the leading providers of insurance in Westchester County. Daniel Guiney, he prides himself on morals, respect, synergy, and to that point, it's not just a company, it's a family. And he'll treat you like family. He'll put you right in the best positions to find efficient solutions for your insurance needs. It's complicated, we get it. Long documents, lots of paperwork, tons of language that even the most well-read people have no idea what they're talking about. But he's taken the morals and named his company just after his grandfather who instilled those same morals into him. Zara Risk Management is a place for you. He's partnered with the leading insurance providers and can find the best package and deal for you. Visit westchesterhomeinsurance.com for your free consultation with Daniel today. He'll take care of you, treat you like family. Now let's get back to the show. Before we get into full economics and all of that, you was also getting some compliments about the doobie.
I mean, I didn't see the compliments, but I'll take them. I appreciate y'all.
It looked good.
It's a great look, man.
Spice it up a little bit.
Got the bubble.
You know
We
what I
feeling
mean?
real wintry out here.
You
We got the
know.
fluffy.
It's cold
We got the
outside.
fluffy.
I was
cold
feeling like
outside.
Mary J. Blige this morning.
Oh yeah, okay. Gotta get the dance on. We're gonna have a dance off later.
That's Lil' Kim.
You right. What the fuck, Mary? What the do? What she do?
She be
The
doing
two-step?
It's them boots. It's
The
them
two-step.
boots. The two-step with the
So I got
boots.
Crocs on, so I can't fuck with it right now.
She trying to divert the attention from the Crocs. Right. But yeah, like I said, there's a couple topics I wanted to touch on personally.
For sure.
The first of which is involves an Olympian, Miss Simone Biles. You know, a couple weeks ago, her and her is it fiance, husband?
I think they're
it's husband.
married.
I think it's
They're
husband.
married.
All right. Well, somebody, her significant other, they had an interview, and they were just talking about the love side of things and how they met and all of that. And they were honest. I really liked how disarmed they were. They were very genuine about everything. And as they should, it seems like their love is very much together. He, on the other hand, is catching a lot of flack. Not for really anything crazy. He didn't cheat or nothing like that. You know, knock on wood, you know, black men don't cheat.
Right.
I don't know about all that. That's good. We're gonna talk about that next. 'Cause
Right.
We can, yeah.
We
Like,
can talk about that. We can talk about that next. But yeah. So he said something along the lines of when they met, he had no idea who she was, and you know, people were like, "Yo, what? She's an Olympian. She's a national hero. Not only a national hero, she's a hero to the black community. She's looked up to by a lot of black girls, black women. Well, of course, you know, as black people do, we claim those who show us in a positive light to the public. And they're like, how do you not know her? And he said the most damning statement, I went into it thinking I was the prize. Now, there's a couple things to unpack. I'll get to it later, but first, I want y'all initial takeaways. It's funny, too. Like, I got... Go ahead. Keep going.
No, I'm listening to what you think.
you want me to say something first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You the lady in the room?
Yeah.
Right? So here's my thing. I think they have a beautiful relationship. I think their relationship is very looked up upon to a lot of like the younger community,
Right,
especially the black community.
Yeah.
So I respect that, number one. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really know who he is. I don't know his name. I don't think anybody really know who he was until she got engaged
Heard it.
with him. So for him to be the prize, he could totally be by who he is. He treats her well. So yes, they are the prize. But as far as wording it in that way, like, you know what I mean, who is she to me type of thing, I just feel like that's a little
I don't think that's
throwing.
how he worded it, though.
I didn't see it,
Right.
the interview. The way he's explaining it, it's kind of like,
Well-
I didn't know who she was. She nobody to me. I thought I was surprised. You know, I just swiped left because she looked good.
You know what? And before you jump in, because I know I like where the direction I feel like you're going to go with it.
Yeah.
But first, let me just say that oftentimes, just like the last thing I just said, people will take context away from certain things. It was mostly a clip that went viral where he said this. So mind you, this was an entire interview boiled down to a couple key points. And I think a lot of people, I know I don't all the time, even listen to the clip. I read the little caption above it and then see the responses, see the reactions, and kind of take my, cues from there. I know there was a lot of angry people, and they, they all kind of fit a certain, perspective.
What's
fit
that?
A certain perspective, position socially,
Whatever.
But E, you were going somewhere where she said that, he might be the prize based on how he treats her.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
No, that's my whole thing. I think we put too much emphasis on how much he makes or da. Nah, she might have seen something that she liked. The communication, how they communicated, might have been the communication that she needs. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know the behind the scenes stuff. But a lot of people are just going off of this. Well, she's famous and she has money, and who are you? We don't know how he treats her behind the scenes. He might treat her like the best, the most beautiful, the queen of his life, all of that.
You're queen.
You know what I mean?
And I don't think relationships work when it's in that perspective. Like,
do you mean?
I can't date somebody and treat them like you gotta work in order to get something from me. You feel me? Like, because then at the end of the day, I might as well sign your W-2s. Like, you know what I mean? Not everything you do.
See, but a lot of
is an
women think
is
like
an
that.
exchange.
I was gonna say.
But no, it's not even just women, it's men as well. So like, for instance, like men who provide, let's say financially, majority of the bills, they're like, the woman got to do A, B, and C, and D.
Well,
I don't want to come home. So y'all got in your heads
Why
already.
not?
Well-
What you mean? If I'm paying for all the bills I'm paying to take care of you, everything.
But at
like,
the end of the day,
let me
that's
come
not
home
the
to a home-cooked
reality
meal.
anymore.
But
No,
see
for
that,
some it is.
but that's
For
okay.
some,
No, here's the
yeah.
thing. Like you say, that's not the reality, and that's not the reality based on necessity. However, I think it's even more telling that if you have a job, if you have all of these things, and you still allow somebody to pay everything. I know we're going to get into the whole 50-50 conversation.
I want to tap into that because I saw a clip, right? It was one of those street interviews, right?
Yeah.
It was a couple, boom, the guy's interviewing, and he's like, how much do you have in your bank account, right? And the dude is like, probably like $1,200, you know what I mean? And then they asked his girlfriend, how much do you have in your bank account? She was like, $70K.
Right.
He looked at her like, wait, hold on, what?
He thought
70K?
he was doing something.
Why am I paying for everything?
He thought it was by necessity.
She hit him with you're the man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. So if you go in thinking what's yours is ours, but what's mine is mine, that's detrimental.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong.
I get what you're saying. I think that the key word people miss out on a lot is mutually beneficial. And I know people confuse that with transactional, which is like, you got to work to get something out of me. But it's like when you're in business. I can, like, there's a store. I give them money. They give me goods and services. But then if I'm in a partnership, say me and you, E, for the studio, I'm a musician, you're an engineer. We got to make sure that if we're going to work something out that's beyond just transactional, you're just like, okay, cool. I will give you studio time if it ensures that you bring people to the studio. Now it becomes mutually beneficial. I get what I need out of you. You get what you need out of me. That's a relationship because there might be, intangibles, sure, that she offers, but sometimes they're not intangible. Sometimes they're very tangible. I need this done, lady. If I'm gonna work all day and I got all of this to do, all of this to take care of, I would very much like if you recognize the needs I have and take care of those too.
I feel like it depends on the relationship and those things need to be established in the beginning.
Right.
But my biggest pet peeve is when somebody does something as like a favor or, they offer it and then have the nerve to complain about it later on.
That's true.
So like there
do
are some men who
lead with finances.
lead with finances and they want to. Like, you know what I mean? That's something that they pride themselves on.
Okay.
It's something that their culture. That's what my dad did. That's what
Okay.
I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I can't be a man not doing not providing. Yeah. So if that's your mindset, and let's say you tell your wife, let's say she's pregnant, don't work. You know what I mean? While you're pregnant, but then have the nerve to complain about you having to pay all the bills. Like this was your idea to begin with. And I feel like some women find themselves in that type of predicament, trying to boost their, self-esteem or their ego. And then I feel like they're felt
they like deceived into it. They kind of
deceived, and then now they're restricted to what they can and cannot do. Oh nah, you don't do nothing.
You traded your freedom
it's just
for that. Well, okay, I get that, and I will say communication is everything.
1,000%.
So if that's gonna be your stance, then definitely communicate all the factors or details of it all. But that said, people go in a lot of times into relationships leading with something that is not sustainable.
Yeah.
And I mean that on all ends. Like men who try to wine and dine, and then women will be like, oh, well, you stopped once we got 6 months in. Women who will be extremely affectionate, and then now life takes over and she has a bunch of excuses why she's not as affectionate. Men who, hit hard times and they're no longer able to, give the money that they used to give. Now, I think that's when you understand that you're a partnership, right? Like, are y'all gonna move with the punches? Are y'all gonna move with the ebbs and flows? Are y'all gonna be in y'all feelings about things with each other? Or are y'all gonna find solutions? And yeah.
Nah, I 100% agree with that. Like my dad ended up having cancer. He was like the breadwinner of the family. My mom did not have to work.
Right.
The minute he got cancer and he could not work anymore, my mom had to go back to work. And then shit just changed. Like her,
about that, yeah.
the way she treated him, the way she was talking was like so wild.
Yeah.
To me, so like I can see exactly what you guys are talking about. But that's at the end of the day, like you have to know your partner, Even when like they split and all of that, he knew what type of person she was, despite him being in such a vulnerable place. Even like with him being close to death, he still ended up taking her back at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
You try to see the good in people.
That's what I'm saying. So you really need to know your partner prior to building something with them. And you need to see, are they with me for what I do for them, or are they with me because they're really with me for who I am?
Absolutely.
You know, so people who get into these relationships, like, oh, I'm in love, you know, he buys me this, he buys me that. Like, baby, that's not love, because you need to know what it feels like to have nothing and how that person's going to react. You know.
1,000%. So when you started, I kind of had a similar story, because my dad was the main breadwinner, take care of everything. He got cancer. But that's when I saw the example of what a real woman is. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. As soon as that happened, she went back to school, did her thing, became a CNA, took care of everything. You see what I'm saying? So I got to see a man who is the breadwinner take care of everything, lose what he has, and the woman step up.
Yeah.
And say, you did everything that you... Relax, I got
this.
That is what every man in the world wants.
Locked in.
Of course, as a man, we want to take care of our family and all that. But if things go the wrong way because of unforeseen events, I want to know that my woman is going to have my back.
Absolutely.
And a lot of women, don't do that. A lot of women, it's like, oh, you can't take care of me no more.
And to that point, you know, before we hit the tit for tat, yes, we know there's 1,000 examples of women falling ill or being able not being able to do what they were once doing, and men finding it somewhere else. We get that.
Yeah.
But it's
postpartum.
Postpartum is a big example of that. And that in and of itself speaks to whether or not you are locked in. Right. And your person will not always be their best self all the time. And you gotta be okay with that. You gotta know, like, it was a stand-up routine. It was Chris Rock who was like, for better or worse. And that's a great statement. But here, be honest with yourselves and ask, what is your worst?
That's a good ass question.
Yeah.
That's a good ass question.
So like, on one side, I know that a lot of y'all, men, myself, you got those crazy stories where you see somebody at their worst, and their worst may not be that bad. Their worst may be just like, they might be a little depressed, maybe a little bit to themselves. Maybe they're not as energetic, or they're not that bright spot that they once were. But then I hear horror stories where that worst is like busting out windshields.
Yeah, you gotta have some type of limit. Once you put somebody's life in danger, you gotta call it quits.
Listen, I got stories. My mom used to wild out.
So you get these moments.
Some lifetime shit. I'm telling you.
What's going on? I go by the name of Eman Music, 1/3 of Real and Uncomfortable. And right now I'm here in Diesel Music Studio. But I just want to let y'all know, Righteous Felon is back. They have merch now, you feel me? So make sure you check them out, support them. They got a whole bunch of flavors. When I tell you a whole bunch of flavors, and the names are off the chain. We got the Teriyaki Balboa, which is a tangy teriyaki with a punch of pepper. So I'm assuming this one's a little spicy. My personal favorite one is the OG Hickory, okay? If you want the small one, you can hop on the small one. But this is the one that I've had. I love it. It has a little smoky flavor to it. You know what I mean? It's like a classic smoky flavor. It's gluten-free, all natural, and it's a great source of protein. If you want to get yourself some, make sure you hit up righteousfelon.com. And if you want to save, make sure you use the promo code POLY15. Now let's get back to the show.
But we kind of got a little bit off topic. I kind of want to bring it back because there's a couple of things, right? First off, that media bubble. People was like, the most inflammatory statement between Simone Biles and her husband, I would say husband for now because I have faith in their love, right? Was that he said, I didn't know who she was. Now, granted, guys, do you follow gymnastics like that? And also, how many topics has it been that you were made aware of that was maybe a month in to their whole discourse when it finally hit your timeline? I know my following, everything people I look at, people I'm a fan of, they not tweeting about the Olympics like that. And once the Olympics is going on, there's so many different events going on. To know people's individual names is kind of lost. Unless you're getting like Michael Phelps, where you won like record-breaking amounts of gold medals, Usain Bolt, record-breaking performances, and in sports that are really high up there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying gymnastics. I know in the kind of comments I'm gonna get attacked. Oh, so yeah.
I'll say I seen it.
Right.
Prior to this,
but
I seen it.
look at the demographic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure that the Instagram funnels are going to push Black female empowerment towards your timeline. It's just how it's gonna be. Now, to that point, he said he didn't know who she was. And that's okay. He found out. He goes on to tell a story where he's out with her. I guess they're on their first date or something like that, one of the first dates, and they go to get ice cream or something, cookies, something. And in their neighborhood, or this top-rated place, it's in the heart of the city, they're walking by and there's a line and everybody stops. And all the little girls are like, oh my gosh, they're having literal breakdowns. People are just brushing by him, handing him the phone. Hey, can you take a picture? Hey, can you take a picture? Hey, can you take a picture? He found out. And he acknowledges how great she is. But if you also notice in the interview, her eyes is rolling, she's smiling, she's cheesing. That girl's in love. So that man's probably doing something right.
Yeah.
My only issue in the comments is how quickly that man went from, mind you, I think he's an NFL player.
He's an athlete himself.
Yeah, he's an athlete himself. I'm pretty sure he has 7 figures in his bank account or high sixes. So he's in the top 1%. And, one of the comments were like, it's amazing how in the eyes of the public, this man went from the top 1% of men to a loser simply because he's with this woman. Even though it's a great experience for her, all of these things, it's the hostility behind it. In other words, y'all need therapy.
1,000%. Because at the end of from my perspective, right, women in that space, a lot of times, because of the cameras always being on them, they want to be treated in a regular manner. So even him not knowing who she was,
Refreshing.
very refreshing, because now he's talking to her and looking at her as an actual person. You're not looking at me as this big star. A lot of people in that limelight, that's the reason why Kim, after she that's the reason why she started dealing with, what's his name?
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Because he treated her like a regular girl. He would have her running around the street.
Eating pizza at, and where is they from? Staten Island or something? Yeah.
When you're in the limelight, that's refreshing. It's something new. It's something different.
I don't know if he did not know what she was, though. Because I feel like if I'm going on like a dating website like Tinder, and I see the person's name, I'm gonna look up their social media, or I'm gonna look them up prior to going out.
Guys don't do that.
Move like
guys
that.
Guys don't move like that. No.
Y'all don't do
I
that.
understand why women do it. Like you
safety.
have to, safety concerns. I get that.
Like I'm not just gonna take the Tinder thing for photos. I'm like, all right, bet. Let me take her out to ice cream. Like, no,
that's
I'm
what we
look you
do.
up.
No, that's literally what we do.
We're not tripping off it.
For real. I again, he made a good point. Y'all have y'all reasons.
Yeah.
I understand. There's weirdos out there.
Yeah.
You want to know who you're dealing with.
You gotta be safe.
Yeah, you got to be safe. And also, maybe I know in another case, was it some ball player? Forgive me for not knowing his name, but he was telling a story where he was I guess he met a girl on Tinder or whatever, or met her somewhere, and took her to dinner. And I guess she goes to the bathroom, leaves the phone there, and the key, one of the search pages was his net worth. Was it Aaron Gordon? I think it was Aaron Gordon. Right.
What would you do in that situation?
Oh,
I gotta treat her different. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna get up and walk away from the date because I feel like by that point it's kind of normal, right?
he went through her phone.
It was
probably on the table.
It was on the table. Don't get me wrong. I do think that was looking for something.
Going through the phone.
Yeah, I know she's about to flip. She's looking for the flip. She's looking for the flip.
I don't think. I think they should just call it quits there. Like,
Really?
Why are you going through my phone? I don't agree that I don't disagree either because at the end of the day, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
There's so many moving pieces.
Yeah. And
why is that your first thought? But then again, why are you going through my phone?
Let me put this in context. He is an NBA player. If you know the game and how dirty it gets, NBA players, rap stars, pop stars, movie stars,
Yeah.
and them hoes is for everybody. So, there's a level of distrust regardless.
Yeah, I get that.
And she just kind of hit the main point of distrust. Do you like me for my money
I
or
would
not?
have done it that.
That's
actually.
a
Right.
red flag.
Because that's the danger of, you didn't know who I was. It's almost refreshing if you don't. Now, again, the thing is with him too, this is not Aaron Gordon, but Simone Biles' husband. Again, I'm sorry. I still don't know his name, so you have a point. But part of not knowing his name is that he is an NFL player. NFL players wear helmets all the time. I don't know if you ever watched this show, The Game, but there was an interesting monologue that one of the characters had when she's representing her son, Tasha Mack. She's a good character. But she's representing her son, and she's like, the contracts don't matter the same way for NFL as in NBA and other sports because you're not as recognizable of a figure. You might throw the ball, you might run the ball, you might have spectacular numbers, but unless you are that top star quarterback, you don't get the Campbell's commercials. You don't get those things. You're
You gotta be
another
good.
right. You are number 64 on the field.
Right.
And that's it. So even despite his success, Simone Biles' husband's success, his recognizability is not going to be anywhere near the same.
Yeah.
Guy like Aaron Gordon, however, despite, him not being the guy, he's not a LeBron. He's very successful, good player. But, he's still known.
Right.
He's still recognizable, especially in his city. The ladies in his city, I'm pretty sure that they're aware of him. Especially if he's going to party with the other guys who are the guy. Happens like that. Now, what would you do in that situation? Are you walking away?
I do say I treat it a little different. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna take you as seriously. You're gonna have to work a little extra, a little bit harder, because it makes me feel like you have a motive. Like you're coming to the table with a motive, which is, how much I got in my pocket. And that's, from a guy's perspective, it's not really comforting.
I get that. What about you? How do you feel if you're with a guy, your
Got Oprah
Ray-Bans,
Winfrey money, you know what I mean?
your Ray-Bans, the
and
superstar.
You see him.
I feel like I would dead it, because like the biggest thing for me is I have a really good work ethic. Like no matter what type of situation I'm in, I'm always gonna be able to provide for myself. There was at one point I had like 3 jobs, so you know what I mean. So for somebody that's looking at my income, I'm gonna feel offended, because I want to date somebody who's gonna hustle. Like you know what I mean. Like if we're down, we both gonna work. You know what I mean. We're not gonna fall asleep broke. Like
Right.
I'm not doing it. So I'll feel offended by it. I'll probably dead it there. I'll definitely confront
you
it
gonna walk
too.
away? Oh, you gonna confront it?
Yeah, I'm gonna confront it, because what
Okay.
was the reasoning behind that?
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to see who I was going out with.
Huh?
Right, I was doing my research.
You could have asked.
Oh, okay. Speaking of
I
that,
provide answers.
there was this woman. The clip went viral, and she flat out asks her dates, "Show me your banking information. Show me your account. You say you have this money. Show me." And she asked you to pull up your bank account
And
and
they do
show
it?
her the balance. I don't know who does it. She says that people have done it, but I also feel like there are going to be people who do it, because there's men who lead with money
it's a little
anyway.
flex. It's a little flex. Check out the
If-
couple
Yeah,
million.
that's,
Right, I got
that's
a couple
not that's not cute to me.
Like,
at all.
But
Yeah.
to me, you're starting off on the wrong type of foundation.
I think so,
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's like a dude saying, "All right, let me see your booty cheeks before I even take." You know what I mean? Like,
Let me see a butthole.
yeah, let me see your butthole before I take you out. Like, what? No.
And that's also in his account. Like you don't have access to that. Like
Yeah.
recently, I think we posted that girl who went out on that date. And the dude didn't pay the bill.
Oh, yeah,
And she
yeah,
was
yeah.
like going on live. I was like, sis, you never leave the house without your own
That's,
money.
yeah,
that's rule
absolutely.
number
You're a
one.
dummy.
Yeah.
That's rule number
You're
one. Like
a
my girl
dummy.
even told me, like her dad told her straight up, if you go out, you better have money to get back home and to pay for whatever food you eat.
Yes. Yeah. in
Anytime
case
you
things
go out, if
left.
he wants to pay, cool. But you always want to be prepared. You know what
Definitely.
I'm saying? Like that's a big difference. If I have a daughter, I'm definitely letting her know, like, yo, you go out with a guy, have money to pay for him and you.
Yes, and
Just in
get home.
case he acts funny,
Yeah.
he walks out.
Yes.
You pay the bill, block him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, to your point, you said like this whole checking up and making sure the information right. Y'all really don't feel like it's good to just show it off? Show off the bank account?
Nah, because
I don't. Go ahead.
to me it's like putting on a light in the summertime and then attracting all the moths. Like you don't want them
Right.
around.
Right.
So it's like I wouldn't flex in that way, because I don't want that around. Like I get so mad like at people, like let's say you get money and then you at the casino, you have like a whole bunch of hundreds, you walk out, you get robbed. Like you're a fucking dummy. Like you're asking for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. She called y'all gold diggers moths. So
Yeah, y'all bitches is moms.
That's how they
Like,
move. That's how they move.
no, but when it comes to things like that, I definitely hear it. But I know there's a type of dude who leads with that, and that's just part of it.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, I know it's coming. know it's coming.
How do you feel about women who lead in that way, who show off? I got this type of car that I'm driving. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're hilarious. You're hilarious.
How does that come off to you? Like, if a girl,
Well, you know,
what I mean?
Well, you know, it all depends on the type of car. Myself, I'm not really the biggest fan of like BMWs and
Right.
things like that.
Right.
I'm more of an American-made guy.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
I really want to know.
I joke.
I really want to know. Like,
But-
if you go on a date and the girl is kind of flexing,
It doesn't
She got
faze
this
me.
degree. She got this type of money. She got. How does that?
It doesn't faze me, but only because I know me, and I've been kind of described by my female friends as
my
being
gosh,
a little bit
who?
arrogant at times, right?
Okay.
And my point is not to be arrogant, but to also never let somebody or outside forces dictate how I view myself.
Okay.
I know the work I put in to be where I am and to do what I do and have what I have. And it does not take away from me if you've done something similar. However, I do take it as an indication of, like, are you doing this to try to show some sort of superiority? Or are you do you have low self-esteem? Because I don't walk into a room touting my stuff. Like, you ever heard that thing, doth protest too much? It's like, it's just meaning like you talk about yourself too much. Are you trying to convince me or you that you have that worth?
You're right.
Right? Now, that said, it's one thing to be proud of your accomplishments. Always celebrate yourself. And I don't think pulling up in a certain car is necessarily the worst thing. What, am I gonna put the car in my pocket? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. But I don't think that I would be as invested if it's like, you gotta be, oh yeah, I got a degree in da-da-da, I got a da-da-da, I do this and da-da-da. Cool, if it comes up in conversation, I'm gonna definitely be like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. And honestly, you know, y'all can tell as much as I talk and run my mouth, I like conversation. So if those things help your perspective in providing good conversation, I'm on board.
My challenge with that is I had a friend. We're not gonna mention her name, right? And she was telling me that a lot of the guys who she goes on dates with would look at her as like a daddy's girl with a lot of money or whatever, when that's not who she was, and she, you know, made her own money. And the complaint was that they would all make statements about her driving a BMW. And my explanation to her is like, well, why is every guy who don't know each other, every guy is mentioning your BMW? There's a common denominator here. It feels like you're flexing in a way that most guys don't necessarily see it in a positive way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, why is every 5-6 guys all have the same view of you, even though I know you and that's not you, but they all have the same view of you, and they all mention you driving a BMW.
Presentation's everything.
Right, but to me, I'm trying to tell her, like, there's something that you're doing that is giving off a certain image that you might want to look at. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I can receive that feedback for her. I don't know if she took it, but I feel like sometimes too, you know, men go into relationships, I feel like for the most part, feeling like they need to be needed.
1000%.
So when they come in contact with like a female who doesn't necessarily need you, like you're adding something to them, I feel like sometimes that's where that attack kind of comes. You know,
Okay.
that happened to me in a lot of my relationships. I'm not a flexer. I feel like you all should know that, like, about me. But I feel like when I talk to certain people, like even in my current relationship in the beginning, there was so much like hostility about what I was doing in my life to better myself in retrospect to what that person was doing, you know, in his life. And I felt attacked by it. Like, you know, but I feel like that I don't know. I feel like what I was doing was like attack to their ego.
I'll get you, and that's exactly it. Egos.
So I don't think necessarily, I don't know her, maybe, but I don't think it necessarily has to do with how she's bragging about what she's doing. I think it's just more so like they could be driving, you know, a hoopty, right? You know, and
Just keep in mind that when guys go into relationships, there's certain things that they think that they have to have or have together, and like certain avenues to flex at. Like, women go in and oftentimes they lead with their beauty, right? Like, you know, I might have myself together, but if we're going out on a date, I expect you to be the one garnering that attention visually, right? But in just the same, like there's certain avenues I kind of want to have a one-up in. And if your ego is too sensitive, you won't have that and it'll hurt you. Like I've gone on dates with women who have had better cars than me, better places to stay than me, better jobs than me. And if you go in there and you let that dictate entirely how you deal with that person, you won't get far. And because hopefully, y'all work together and they may help you elevate. Do you always want to shoot
That's
down?
key.
Yeah. But now that said, it's all about the perspective. And if those comment sections was any indication, a lot of these people ain't ready to be together with anybody. Like, if you can't handle not being known and recognized for your accomplishments, and we say we want genuine connection. I'll flip that Simone Biles situation and say he is a LeBron James-esque person, or fuck it, just a billionaire Silicon Valley person. She has no idea who he is, and she goes on a date with him. That sounds like a Hallmark movie. And or like some type of fairy tale situation that all of these ladies is jumping to be a part of.
Cinderella.
Right. But the tables is turned and she's now not recognized for the hard work she's put in. And suddenly this man is public enemy number one. Like, the math ain't mathing. And again, y'all need therapy. It's okay. It's all right. Love yourself, love others. But to your point, E, I have no problem with a woman having. Just if she's smacking me in the face with it immediately,
Right.
it makes me feel like maybe this doesn't have no shelf life on this thing just because of who she is as a character.
Listen, I have a key takeaway point.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't judge somebody off of what they have. You have to judge the person off of what they want and what they're doing to get it. And then that's like, period. Because somebody who has nothing with their worth ethic, like they can, the next 2 years have everything. Somebody who has everything right now can have nothing because, of how they
Life
move,
happens.
how they got it, how they, you have to judge the person by their character and not so much the tangibles.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway.
That's a great takeaway. And that's a great way to end it. So as you guys know, we will be with you guys all next year. I hope that you are with us. E, you want to talk to the people real quick?
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all the comments, the feedback, the conversations. Keep sharing the content. Keep hitting us up. What's the date? I'm not sure when the episode's coming out, but
Yeah.
happy holidays, blessings, positive vibes, and much more.
Yeah. Enjoy the new year. We got some things for you. Ray?
Happy holidays. We love y'all. Peace.
I ain't looking for no handouts to say no. Always stack high and stay low. Tryna level up, better get with us. Gotta keep it real, cause it's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable. It's about to get real uncomfortable.